Alabama left guard Tyler Booker is one of the best prospects coming out in the 2025 NFL Draft, and we're going to talk about why this guy has such elite upside. To me, when you put the tape on Tyler Booker, it is very, very clear. This guy has elite processing, he has elite technique, he's very strong at the point of attack, and generally speaking, you're not going to see this guy lose all that often. And I'm excited to get into this one, man. The guy's very, very, very solid. We're going to start right away with this first play here. You see right away he's going to be able to anchor down and really shut down this nose tackle. It goes to show how he's able to just anchor down. Number 94 here is going to get out of his stance. You're going to see that head movement right here. He's going to fake to the right, fake left, fake outside. And Booker's not going to fall for it, right? And more than that, Booker's going to get the hands right to the inside. And look at him just anchor down. Number 94 is going to get absolutely no push. And this is part of why Tyler Booker has so much potential. It's plays like this. And there's a lot of plays like this on tape. I'm excited to really get into it. Let's jump right into it. Now, if you guys watch Tyler Booker's tape, one of the things that's going to flash multiple times is the processing that this guy has. You know, sometimes offensive linemen are not very quick in terms of processing. They're not able to see things, and defensive linemen and defensive coordinators will take advantage of that. But one of the things Booker does well that you won't be able to take advantage of is processing. And you'll see this multiple times show up on tape, where you'll get two guys that are going to run defensive line games. Sometimes it'll be a linebacker coming. In this instance, it's a three-man defensive line game with two guys stunting to the left. Linebacker's going to come over here to the right, and Booker's going to process that perfectly. Passes off number 91 to the center, ends up taking on the linebacker, and he's going to shut this down. And he's going to keep the quarterback clean. The quarterback's going to be able to get the ball passed downfield. To me, that's a really good job. But it's one of those things with Tyler Booker you see happen pretty much a ton on tape. Anytime you get a defensive line game, this guy shuts it down. Here's another example of that. This one's a little bit different because this one's a 5-man pass protection. And essentially, you're going to have 5 defensive linemen lined up right in front of those offensive linemen. So every guy is going to be in a true one-on-one situation. And right as this play's about to begin, you're going to see the linebacker and the defensive end swap gaps. Linebacker jumps outside, defensive end jumps inside. And then from there, you're also going to see the defensive end here is going to end up running a 3-man defensive line game where he's going to slant to the left, and Booker's the first guy that has to exchange to be able to properly pick this up with the interior offensive lineman. And look at how they do it, right? It's perfectly picked up. This starts right here with Booker. Booker's going to be the first guy. He takes on the nose tackle. He's going to see it pretty quickly. He picks up the nose. The center passes it off well. The center is going to get over here and help the right guard. That's a really good job by the right guard to pass it off to the center as well. And then the right guard comes back around to number 0, who was the initial guy that Booker was lined up across. And they keep the quarterback clean. And the quarterback's able to throw the ball out of a really good pocket. Again, 5-man protection, 5 defensive linemen. Just an incredible job by Tyler Booker. But again, this is part of what you're going to see a ton on tape. The guy's very smart, and he flashes that on tape. You got another defensive line game where he's going to be able to process it and pick it up. And he's also going to end up getting physical with the defensive end. He's going to put this defensive end into the ground. Now, I should also just kind of throw this out there. One of the big assets that I think Booker's going to bring, and I think it's going to translate really well, is going to be the power, the strength, the ability to anchor, right? I showed you guys that very first play of this film breakdown. But oftentimes it's going to go overlooked just how physical this guy plays at times. So not only is he smart enough to pick up the defensive line game, he passes number 7 off to the left tackle really well, gets the hands perfectly into him, pushes him out of there, gets the hands back over here to the defensive end, perfectly picks him up. Right hand's going to land to the inside chest. That's going to allow him to shut down 52. And then look at him just straight up anchor. Look at him straight up shut down 52, not let him get close to the quarterback. And he's going to also end up finishing this block. Just a beautiful rep once again by Booker to be able to keep the quarterback clean, give the quarterback the opportunity to get the ball out. And you see him throw a pretty nice pass. It is an incompletion, but you see Booker do a really nice job switching and anchoring now. This next play right here to me is absolutely phenomenal, and you really see it up close. Because of the camera angle as well, he really drops those hips, does a really nice job with the drag hand initially to help the center. And again, this is something you're going to see a ton on tape. Booker's going to end up getting the hands perfectly to the defensive lineman. He's also going to help the center. If you keep an eye on that drag hand, right, that right hand, he's going to essentially get that in and help the center out. And then you're going to see that within this play, Booker's going to drop the anchor right there. And you really see him kind of spread those legs out the way he does, creates kind of that V shape, drops the hips. And just like that, he's going to shut down this power. and that's going to allow the quarterback to get the ball out. Just a really, really good job once again by Booker, anchoring, switching on defensive line games, processing, just a really, really good football player. Here's another one where he's going to end up anchoring down against number 21 of Tennessee. Once again, he's going to shut it down. This time it's a little bit different. Not only does he get his hands right on this guy, but he's also going to end up mirroring him really, really well.
Now, before we go forward, I want to just take a second to give a big shout out to the sponsor of this channel, because this content would not be possible without Underdog. If you guys have never utilized Underdog before, trust me, man, you guys are missing out. I don't do traditional fantasy sports that often. I did do one league this year, but generally speaking, I'm not really doing it anymore. And that's mostly because of Underdog. Underdog has this game that I really, really enjoy. It's called Pick'em. Essentially, you're going to go out there and just make picks that you think are going to be right. They'll have pretty much every pick you can think of for every player, and they have multiple categories as well. So an example would be, I think Aiden O'Connell is going to throw for 125 yards. And you're essentially just going to pick higher on that, right? I think he'll have more than 125 yards. You might say, hey, Dak Prescott's going to have at least 2 touchdowns. I'll pick higher on that. You might say Caleb Williams is going to have a rushing touchdown. And some of those stats also give you multipliers, right? So usually for quarterbacks rushing it in, right? That's something most quarterbacks aren't doing every single week. You'll get like a 4x multiplier on that. So depending on the multiplier, depending on how many picks, you can turn $5 into $400, $1,000, right? Whatever it ends up being. Obviously, it depends on the multiplier, but Underdog to me is one of those places that I pretty much do every single week at this point. Very fun. It makes like watching the Jets and the Dolphins without Tua makes them interesting, right? So check out Underdog. If you guys have never used them before, it is the best place. Trust me when I say that. Go to underdogfantasy.com, use my promo code that you guys see on the screen, or use the app. I recommend the app. So let's get right back into the content.
So the hands are going to land perfectly on the defensive lineman. Left hand's going to end up landing on the shoulder pad. Right hand's going to land inside. So keep an eye on the hands. You're going to see the left hand is going to latch on to the shoulder pad. Right hand's to the inside. Number 21 is going to try to hit an inside move, right? Or at least he's trying to shed towards the inside. It's not going to work. Booker just ends up shutting that down. Has a really good latch onto this defensive lineman. And the defensive lineman's trying multiple times to get off that block. And Booker just shuts it down. He's going to mirror it, anchors down within this play, and he once again keeps the quarterback clean. Just a really nice rep. You're going to get another nice pass rep, 3rd and 8. Phenomenal job being able to shut down this defensive lineman. True one-on-one situation. I love the hand placement here on this pass rep. Watch as soon as the left guard's going to get out of his stance here. He's going to make contact with the right hand first. The right hand's going to displace this defensive lineman. The D lineman does look to be trying to go to the inside, but that right hand just catches him perfectly. I mean, look at that. And I should also note, Tyler Booker has an absolute insane reach. His arm length is longer than most starting NFL tackles. And you really see it on plays like this when he gets that right hand into these guys. The D lineman goes outside, and then the left hand's going to end up locking in as well. Just a really good job using independent hands by Tyler Booker. Really nice job to be able to shut down this defensive tackle and keep the quarterback clean. Here's another nice rep by Booker. You're going to see that he's going to process the defensive line game. He's going to do a really nice job just being able to pick it up. And then, of course, he ends up getting physical, ends up taking down this defensive lineman, puts him into the dirt. Just another really nice rep to keep the quarterback clean. Alrighty, guys, let's go ahead and switch focus. Let's get into Tyler Booker and what he shows when it comes to his run blocking. The guy, to me, does a really nice job being able to move. One of the things you're going to see with this guy oftentimes is when it comes to being able to reach, or when it comes to being able to get to the second level, or maybe he's a puller or a lead blocker. And when it comes to him finding guys, he does a really nice job being able to kind of make those blocks. On this one here, he does a phenomenal job where he's going to be the lead blocker. He's going to pull from the left guard position. And not only is he going to end up finding his guy, but he does a really good job to be able to flip the hips. He's going to end up making contact with the defensive lineman who looks to be spilling to the inside. And as soon as he makes contact with the defensive lineman, look at him end up flipping the hips. He does a really good job giving his running back that lane to the outside. That's a really, really good job right there by Booker to be able to find the guy he needs to make contact with, flips the hips, and gives the running back an opportunity to pick up a couple of yards. You guys, check this next play out. You're going to get a zone run towards the left of your screen. And the left guard here, Booker's going to have to reach. And he has a guy lined up in the 2-eye. And he does a really nice job being able to get past him. Now, the 2-eye does end up jumping to the right. But he is still on the inside of Booker. So Booker still has to cross his face. You'll see the defensive tackle lined up right there to the inside shoulder. And Booker has to cross his face and get up to number 5. That's a really good job to be able to get past him. Now, yeah, he does jump over here to the right, but he still is able to get past him. He gets up to number 5, the inside linebacker. He does a nice job cutting him off and getting his hands on that linebacker. You're going to pick up 7 yards on this one. You got another really nice block here by the left guard. You're going to get a double team on the 3 technique, and the left guard's going to release and get up to the linebacker. And you're going to pick up 10 yards on this one. Just a really nice job once again by both of those guys. Left guard, left tackle have to process this up to that linebacker. And because the linebacker takes the inside gap, it's going to be Booker that has to get up to the linebacker. Really, really nice movement at the point of attack. 74 gets underneath the defensive tackle. 52 does a good job with the hands and keeping his eyes on the linebacker. And you're going to see him release into the linebacker. And the running back's going to have a slight little hole here. And he's going to end up hitting it and picking up 11 yards on this one. So just a really good job once again. You also see Booker ends up putting the linebacker into the ground. So just added bonus, right? You see that power on tape, the physicality as well. Just a really, really nice rep. When Tyler Booker gets into the NFL, I think a team is going to end up getting a really, really good interior offensive lineman. A guy that can play for the next 10 years. To me, this is one of those guys that you definitely want on your team. And generally speaking, I don't think guards deserve to be first round picks, but if there's any guard that does, Booker makes a ton of sense. He's physical as hell at the point of attack. And it's not just he's physical, he's actually very, very smart, has really good technique. He's one of those guys that I think is going to translate really well into the NFL. Overall, I think this guy has Pro Bowl potential, and I think there's a real chance he'll end up making multiple Pro Bowls and multiple All-Pros as well. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If this is the first time you're on this channel, do consider subscribing. We are going to be breaking down Tyler Booker as he gets into the NFL. We will be breaking down his preseason tape, his regular season tape, and we'll be following this guy through the course of his NFL career. With that being stated, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time with another video.